Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Kamne TV Media News. The headlines. Education Minister steps in to stop the rivalry between Twin Palm and Kampyongo School following death of pupil. Zambia's Inspector General directs his commissioners countrywide to deal with UPND supporters planning protest ahead of Hakainde Hichilema's police appearance. Details coming to you after this commercial.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
Msika, allowing your business to grow.
And now the media news in detail. Government through General Education Minister Dennis Wanchinga says the death of an innocent 17-year-old Kampyongo boy's pupil Ryan Piri at the hands of his fellow pupils from the Twin Palm Secondary School is heartbreaking and poses a strong concern for government to step in. Dr. Wanchinga explains that to this effect, government is working on a revised policy framework that will help in rising moral standards of pupils while in schools. Speaking after meeting school heads from Kampyongo and Twin Palm Secondary Schools Monday morning, Dr. Wanchinga says the meeting is aimed at finding lasting solutions to the rivalry that has existed between the two schools over the years. Last week, police arrested 4 pupils from Twin Palm Secondary School in connection with the death of Ryan, while the 5th suspect is on the run. Details in the following report.
May dry, but the memories are still fresh among the family members of the late Ryan Piri, a 17-year-old pupil of Kampyongo Boys Secondary School, who was allegedly murdered by his peers after being beaten with golf sticks. This report was confirmed by Police Public Relations Officer Esther Katongo that some pupils from Twin Palm Secondary School had attacked the boy from Kampyongo Boys. The sad development invoked fear and anger in many people, prompting the Vice President and other senior government officials to call for an investigation into the matter. Today, General Education Minister Dennis Wanchinga toured the schools at the helm of the crime to ascertain the causes of such brutality among pupils. And speaking after the meetings with the two heads from Twin Palm and Kampyongo Boys Secondary Schools, Dr. Wanchinga told the media that facts have been established and that government will soon act on them as the police also investigate the matter.
One, there has been some kind of long-standing rivalry between Kampyongo Boys Secondary School and Twin Palm. And we need to establish exactly the depth of that rivalry and what factors are driving that rivalry. We also want to establish more conclusively the role that a nearby residential compound called Malata is playing in driving these challenges that we are seeing between the two schools. Because preliminary investigations are indicating that this compound is sheltering many illegal activities in the form of alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and even we are told that there are girls from nearby secondary schools who find themselves in there for illicit activities.
Dr. Wanchinga says the death of Ryan Piri is purely being taken as an education matter. He says the two institutions need to ensure that they strengthen guidance departments to help the pupils.
We need to intensify counseling in our schools. We have, unfortunately, I get information that some of those retired teachers, or teachers, for instance, who are living in Kampyongo compound but are teaching in other schools, may not be helping the situation because they are not helping towards strengthening the moral code within the school.
On the 4th December 2020, Ryan Peary, age 17, is alleged to have been attacked by a group of people believed to be grade 12 pupils from Twin Palm Secondary School. So far, 4 people have been arrested in connection and investigations are still on. Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
In other news, Zambia's Inspector General of Police, Kakuma Kanganja, has directed all police commissioners across the country to deal firmly with any supporters of the opposition, United Party for National Development UPND President Hakainde Hichilema, intending to protest his impending police appearance. Zambians, especially UPND members across the country, have vowed to protest their leader at all costs, saying an arrest will trigger nationwide unrest. But Mr. Kanganja says the police will not condone any act of lawlessness and disorder in the country. Mr. Kanganja says the planned protests are illegal, hence the police will not hesitate to firmly deal with anyone found on the streets as a result of Mr. Hichilema's arrest or otherwise. The Inspector General's message has been delivered to the public through police spokesperson Esther Katongo. Mr. Hichilema is due to appear before the police on Wednesday, 23rd December 2020 at Police Force Headquarters at 14 hours. Reasons for his summoning still remains unknown.
The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kakuma Kanganja, has directed all police commissioners across the country to deploy police officers in strategic areas to monitor activities of members of the opposition United Party for National Development who are reported to be planning to stage unlawful public gatherings at the time their party president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, will appear at Police Service Headquarters where he has been summoned. The Inspector General has further directed all police officers to decisively deal with all those that would want to cause public disorder during this
The Patriots for Economic Progress PEP has charged that the Economic and Recovery Plan launched by President Edgar Lungu last week, Thursday, is incapable of changing the economy nor instilling confidence among economic players as it lacks any substance. PEP President Sean Tembo says the Economic and Recovery Plan is dismally inadequate as it fails to address the key cause of the downturn in the economy, such as excessive borrowing, gross leakage for both tax and non-tax revenues, and unstable and uncomfortable supply of electricity, resulting in reduced productivity capacity in the economy. Mr. Tembo lamented that it is unfortunate to note how the president used what he terms intempt ministers and senior government officials that are the main causes of the country's economic minus in coming up with such a plan. He adds that the head of state should have involved different stakeholders across the country who are economic think tanks when formulating such policies regardless of their political affiliation. He further explains that the people of Zambia must not consider voting for him next year, as he has shown through his shallow and empty economic recovery plan that he is incapable of running the affairs of the country.
As Patriots for Economic Progress, we took time to review the President's economic turnaround plan that he actually delivered to the nation on Thursday last week. And suffice to mention that we had high hopes regarding this economic turnaround plan because our economy currently is in a downward spiral. We have noted that the government is not able to generate adequate revenues to meet its expenditure obligations and service its various loans. And so we looked forward to the President's turnaround plan, but we were very disappointed to actually note that the President's economic turnaround plan actually lacked any substance anything that could actually help to turn around our economy. And to a large extent, it was actually a very shallow and empty document. Our expectation was that the president would address issues such as the revenue leakages, issues such as being able to manage our debt and ensure that we rectify the default that we have so far suffered. But the economic turnaround plan did not address any of these issues, and therefore is unlikely to be able to actually achieve its intended purpose.
In other news, Tuwikeko cooking oil project owned by Tuwikeko Multi-Purpose Cooperative in Mfumba district has continued to inspire and motivate farmers to grow more sunflower apart from groundnuts in the district. Tuwikeko Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society Limited project business manager Kelvin Solochi says the project is supporting more outgrow farmers with hybrid sunflower seed aimed at increasing the production of cooking oil from the sunflower than groundnuts they have been using in the past. Mr. Solochi was speaking in an interview with NAIS when the Director Cooperative in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Shadrach Mungalaba, visited the processing factory in Mfumba district of Northwestern Province. And Director Cooperative in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Shadrach Mungalaba, has described the project as one of the rare enterprises cooking oil ventures a cooperative movement of small-scale farmers are running as a serious business in the province.
The first cooking oil processing factory in Mfumba district. The factory is owned by Tuwikeko Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society members. They have been producing cooking oil from groundnuts. The cooperative has now taken another step to support outgrower farmers to grow sunflower. Kelvin Solochi is Tuwikeko Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society project business manager.
We switched from MGV4 groundnuts to sunflower, which has got a higher content of cooking oil in it. So, starting from last year, we've started extracting cooking oil from sunflower. And this year, we have procured 172 bags by 5 kg of sunflower seed from Zamseed that we are giving out to farmers as an outgrower scheme.
Cooperative mwetu tujina lusekero wingi pakuikana na ino cooperative yetu yitu kwasha uikaji wetu na biseni yetu inakutuajijira kwitu kwasha kaijikechi tujinaro na una kubwera panyumani.
In Mfumba district, we have 277 registered cooperatives. It suffices enough actually to mention that amongst these cooperatives, we have 21 cooperatives that are running solar milling plants, and also we also have about three cooperatives that are processing cooking oil and peanut butter, and then we also have one cooperative called Tuwikeko, which is processing cooking oil.
Farmers in Kashima East Agricultural Camp have received the training and are ready to grow sunflower.
Longa yakaye makulu kwa tingi sunflower wani. Ilangi tunatambulite sunflower, tunasakilide nakasi, nukudia nanenzi, analete sunflower, nzamba ikiswiliman, nasakilide.
Director Cooperatives in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Shadrach Mungalaba, has visited the district to appreciate the cooperative movement activities.
I must say, I'm really impressed that a primary cooperative can be in this kind of value addition. When the president in 2015 was pronouncing the movement of the cooperative development mandate, what he said, and I recall, was that as a nation, we needed to use the cooperative model going forward for inclusive development. This is an example of inclusive development.
Area, the Director Cooperative dedicated score on Mfumba District Commissioner Hagai Kalota at his office.
This year, Mfumba has managed to buy maize through FRA about 129,800 plus, close to, that is 130,000 by 50 kgs.
Mr. Mungaraba, who has concluded his visit, was in the province to check on cooperative movement activities, focusing on market linkages and value chain development. Krivach Tuta, reporting in Mufumbo District, Northwestern Province.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Kamla TV Middle News, but before we go, the headlines once again. Education Minister steps in to stop the rivalry between Twin Palm and Kampyongo schools following death of pupil. Zambia's Inspector General directs his commissioner countrywide to deal with UPND supporters planning protests ahead of Hakainde Hichilema's police appearance. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.
It doesn't work. You heard me say no one is above the law. People have been prosecuted and people have been sent to the correctional facilities. And when that is happening, no one looks at what political jacket you put on. So, for any member who wants to be a member of PF, must be law-abiding citizen. Because we won't tolerate any individual to break the law and use the party as a shield. No. That's why I was saying, even as much as we don't feel happy as government, the president doesn't take pleasure in seeing his own cabinet ministers being taken to the law enforcement agencies and later on to the courts of law. But he's one person who has said, look, if there are allegations leveled against an individual, it's important that through the institutions that are established, these people are given chance to be cleared or to be convicted of those allegations. The reason why he does that is to ensure that everybody understands that we are here to serve within the confines of the law. The authority that is deposited in us must not be abused. And so it goes down to each member, if senior members of the party can be made to account for their actions, why shouldn't it be an ordinary member be made to account? So that's my response. If you want to claim to be a member of Patriot Front, you must respect the institutions of the party. You must respect the leadership of the party across board. You can't just say, no, me, I only respect this one. It doesn't work. It's a family where rules must be observed. So we are not going to tolerate indiscipline, and those that break the law enforcement are encouraged to act and act decisively without looking at this political status. You have seen a number of people that have done wrong things and have been made to account, and the party has acted. A recent case of a former provincial chairman who himself at the police station was made to go to the courts of law, and the party acted by suspending to say we are not encouraging illegalities. That's how it is going to be in the party. So that's my response to your question, Mr. Kasama. We want to also create an environment where the media are able to freely discharge your functions. When people have appeared in the radio stations, it's interactions. People must be mindful of the language they are using, even those that are hosting them, so that the language is not offensive to attract negative reactions which can culminate into physical confrontation. But that also is not justifiable. If someone says something that you don't believe in, you don't react by being physical. You can also use the same platform to counter what anybody could have been saying, which you feel is not correct. So it's important that the violence that we're talking about is dealt with in all the fronts, so that every Zambian is able to exercise their freedoms, fundamental freedoms that they are supposed to enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honourable Minister. You have answered all the questions adequately. Allow me just to thank my colleagues from the media for coming at a short notice. The ministry still look forward to working with you in 2021, and we should enjoy the Merry Christmas ahead of us.
I also just want to end by wishing all of you a peaceful Merry Christmas, and obviously a prosperous 2021 at personal level and at family level. You are busy just like all of us, but please find time to be with your family, even short time. Let the family appreciate you. Don't say, no, I'm going for an assignment all the time. You are following the Minister of Home Affairs, but you are welcome to come to the village in Shwangandu where we shall be spending Christmas. But just to wish you all the very best through this festival period. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.